Today we're going to be talking about rate schedules. Rate schedules are used to determine what green fee a customer is charged when you double click their name on the T-sheet. It's also used to determine what rates are displayed when someone's booking online. So we're going to go to Friday, May 5th, and being in Louisville, Kentucky, the day before Derby. We're going to change this, even though it's a weekday, we're going to change this to weekend rates. I'm going to click on daily notes, and currently we're in weekday peak season. And I'm going to change this to weekend peak season because we're going to charge a little bit more this day. If we go into reports and T times by date report, and we're going to say this month, you'll see that starting May 1st, we have weekday peak season, but then Friday, May 5th, it goes to weekend peak season. And Saturdays and Sundays show up in this report in yellow. And then for the rest of the month, we go to weekday, weekend, we said to run this report through the 31st, but our T-sheet has only been populated or built out through May 22nd. So that's why the 23rd through the 31st doesn't appear. So I'm going to close this report. And now I'm going to go into the admin menu, and rate schedules are defined under the rate schedule button here. And you can have 8 different possible rate schedules, and you can rename these however you want. So over here we have the weekday unused one. If I just want to call that weekday unused, I'm just go in here and change that. And that will become known as the weekday unused schedule. Now I'm going to go back to weekday peak season. So for the weekday peak season schedule, at the start of the day, we're charging $55 for the 18-hole rate with cart. That's what's going to be displayed online. Senior rate is $40 and 9-hole rate is $30. Then starting at 2:30 p.m. we have a matinee rate, and we have a deep discount of just $14. We do not offer a senior rate, so senior rate would not even be displayed in the online booking at that point. And then the 9-hole rate is $13, and then starting at 5 p.m. we have a twilight rate, which is $12, and we don't display a senior rate or a 9-hole rate. Just everything is $12 at that point. The other thing to notice here is when you're on the weekday peak season, anytime you double click a name on the T-sheet, it's going to start a sale and go to the golf menu. Some courses will have a weekday golf menu and a weekend golf menu, but you can determine, and they may even have a winter golf menu or a weekday winter golf menu, and you can create any of those that you want. So we're going to click on OK here. Now we're going to go into the course info on the admin menu and edit default tee times button. So here we have a bunch of different date ranges. January 1st is always this first date range. So we have from January 1st, the second date range starts February 25th. So that implies that January 1st goes through February 24th. I'm going to click on edit. So for that date range, our first tee time is going to be 10 a.m. On weekdays, our first weekend tee time is going to be 9:30, and the last tee time is going to be 3:30 p.m. And for weekdays, the default rate schedule is going to be weekday off season. Weekends, the default rate schedule is weekend off season. If we go down to May, so starting May 1st, we have first tee time 7 a.m., weekend 6:40, last tee time 6 o'clock, and the weekday rate schedule is set up to be weekday peak season, and the weekend rate schedule is set up to be weekend peak season. Now I'm looking at the calendar here and the forecast, it's kind of chilly here, so we're going to actually push this back from May 1st to May 10th. And by doing that, that means that the rate schedule that starts on April 1st is now going to run through May 9th. But that's not going to update our T-sheet. Just because we made this change, the T dates for May 1st through May 9th have already been built for this year. So it's not going to affect those dates, because if you remember correctly when we started this video, we changed May 5th to be weekend rates, which is a Friday, because it's a special day here in Louisville. So we didn't want this change that we made in here to affect those changes that we manually made for May 5th. So if we go to reports, T times by date, this month, you'll see that the changes we just made in the admin menu did not take effect here. There's still nothing changed. So if we go back into the admin menu, course info, default times, we can do update rate schedules. It's going to give us a warning. You say yes, we want to continue, and we're going to say this month. And it comes back, says they're updated. Now if we go into reports, T times by date, this month, you'll see that May 1st through the 9th was changed to the weekday and weekend April/September, and it overwrote the change we'd made on May 5th. So if we still want to charge weekend peak season rates on May 5th, we're going to have to go to May 5th, daily notes, and we'll change this back to weekend peak season. So that explains how rate schedules are used, how to update them, and how to go into reports and see what rate schedules you're using for a specific date range. Thank you.